So here I am with my weekly pickup video with this little bundle here. So let's take a look at what I got this week. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my weekly pickup video. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and is supporting the channel. It's fantastic. I really appreciate everyone that watches, everyone that's subscribed, everyone that leaves a message. What can I say? Just thank you. Now, before I begin, I want to give a shout out to Stuart George. Stuart George has started up a channel of his own. He's done a great room tour and really worth checking out. So go over to his channel. I will leave a link in the description below. Go and give him some support. Yes, just fantastic. But anyway, let's get into today's video and what I've picked up this week. So okay, first thing I'm going to do is this double, and I made a mistake on this one. I already had it in the collection, so it's going to go in my double pile to do whatever with, and that is Fences with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. I've not watched it. It was a blind buy, as it was before, and this is the problem. This is where I have issues doubling up on stuff. It's generally on cheap items that I pay next to nothing for. I buy them, I don't get round to watching them very quick, and then I get an intrigue to see them again, forget that I've got them in a collection, they're somewhere about, and I buy it again, only to then realise, damn, you've doubled up on that one. So it was only a couple of quid, but do you know what I mean? It's putting me off of picking up cheaper items when I am certainly not sure that I have them, because it isn't the first time that has occurred. It's happened more often than what I would like to admit, but there we go. So next up, yesterday I went to London, picked up a steelbook. This steelbook here for Duel, the Steven Spielberg film. Dennis Weaver. This film came before Jaws. It's very much a footstep into Jaws. It's man against beast, essentially, but in this time it's a truck. We never see the driver of the truck, so it gives it this sort of mystical element to a degree, but it just keeps chasing him down. He's got to try and get away from it and save the day. Well, you know, survive, basically. This was actually a TV movie, but don't let that deter you from watching it if you haven't seen it. It does not feel like a TV movie. It is, you know, Steven Spielberg done a great job in directing this. The TV studio, wanted him to film it all against a green screen, and he said, no, I'm going to go out and do this practically in the real world, and the effect that he got with it was just fantastic. So that's Duel. I do have the J card, but J card is a bit tatty, so I'm just going to put that on the inside. And then a blind buy for £2, and I didn't double up on this one. I know that. Never heard of it. Braven with Jason Momoa. It was £2, so I will get around to watching that. It's only about 90 minutes long, just over. So yeah. And what's his face is in it as well, you know, from Avatar, and I keep forgetting the guy's name. Oh, Garrett Dillahunt is in it as well. Well, fantastic. I didn't know that. I'm just looking at the names on the back. Stephen Lang is who I'm talking about. Gareth Dillahunt is in this. And I really like that Gareth Dillahunt as an actor. He was the Terminator in the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV series. And more recently, he's been in Fear the Walking Dead. So to see Garrett Dillahunt in it, he's probably one of the bad guys, inevitably. Fantastic. Another actor in it that I think should be doing more. Superb. A little surprise there for me. Then we've got Made in Manhattan. Cost me a £5. I bought this for the wife. Now, I remember having seen this with the ex-wife years ago, and I'm sure that I was very critical of it and very, I was taking the mick out of it. So I don't know. I can't remember too much about it, but I think she liked it back then. It's more of a women's film. And then I picked up Heavy Metal, the animated film from the early 1980s, 1981, I believe. Now, I haven't seen this, again, blind buy, but I've been looking for this for a while now. I found this up in CEX on Tottenham Court Road. And the last 2 times I've been in there, I've been looking, well, not last time, but the time before, I had looked for it. Because they have had it listed online, but I couldn't find it in store. And even on my last visit, I couldn't find it. Not that I was looking for it, but I didn't see it in store. And lo and behold, this time I found it. I don't know whether it was behind the counter or something, you know, sort of hidden away, put somewhere else on the shelves by someone. I don't know, but they had it this time around. So fantastic that got that as well. One from Arrow, and I was pointed towards this on, I think it was on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. And direct from Arrow, they were selling it cheap. So I bought it, and that is Future Shock, which is a documentary, the story of 2000 AD. Obviously, you know I'm a big comic fan if you watch the channel. So this has gone amiss. I've known nothing about it, but, you know, I'm all for watching this sort of a thing. Documentary on comics. Fantastic. 2000 AD, Judge Dredd and all that. It does have a reversible sleeve in there as well, with that on the other side. So yeah, and a wealth of special features and that. So fantastic on that one. Then we have one bootleg, which was The Death of Superman Lives What Happened, which is a documentary that was fan produced, you know, Kickstarter campaign type of a thing, with Kevin Smith in it being interviewed, and it's all about what happened to the Nicolas Cage Superman movie. It's a really informative, in-depth documentary about the film that never was, because you've got to understand that Nicolas Cage was paid for this movie, that everything was there, everything was in place. The film was made. It just wasn't shot. So by which costumes were done, casting was done, the script was in place, sets were being built, all this sort of stuff, everything was there, and they pulled the plug on it. And it's one of those stories of what if this was, what, you know, and I'd still love to see this film. I'd love to have seen it happen. And I've always said, and I said this in the video where I opened that, why DC Animation don't take this script here and make an animated film out of it, I will never know. Christ, even paid to get Nicolas Cage to voice. You know, that DC have had him voice before. I'm sure he would do it. Yeah, I know he voiced a small part as Superman in something, and then obviously more recently in The Flash, his likeness was used, but apparently he did film that bit. I don't know, but there we go. So there's that. Then we have Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I wanted to rewatch this. I ain't seen it for years. The end always stays with me as a child. What a scary, scary ending. This is the 1978 remake version of the movie, starring Donald Sutherland. Yeah. Again, that's from Arrow. It's got a reversible sleeve inside, like so. Yeah, that's great. And then I did pick up 2 sort of, prestige format releases. One being for the movie Boiling Point, which is starring Stephen Lang. Stephen Lang's the other one. Stephen Graham. Where am I going? See, Stephen Lang's in my head now. Stephen Graham. Great actor he is. And this film was all filmed, I haven't watched it yet. It's a blind buy. It was all filmed in one shot. The whole film. In one shot. Apparently so. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then the biggie for the week, which was the big release for me. Can you guess what it was if you haven't seen my pickups? Okay. No, I'll talk about something I didn't get this week in a minute as well, and why. And anyway, the biggie of the week isn't that one there. I'm picking up the wrong film. It's this one here, and that was Jaws 2 with the lenticular, the steelbook with the art cards and the poster and all that sort of stuff in there, booklet. Yeah, Jaws 2, which obviously goes nicely with my Jaws 1 as well. It just was here, happened to be here by chance. But yeah, so Jaws 2. Okay, so this week did see a number of high-profile releases get given a physical media release. Those being Evil Dead Rise, Renfield, the Nicolas Cage Dracula movie with Nicholas Hoult, and TV series The Last of Us. Okay, I didn't get any of those free, all right, because okay, number one, Rise of the Walking Dead, or Evil Dead. Sorry, Rise of the Walking Dead. What was it? Evil Dead Rise. Sorry, Evil Dead Rise. I'm a big fan of the Evil Dead franchise. I love Bruce Campbell. Evil Dead Rise isn't Bruce Campbell, obviously. Now, the Evil Dead has two pathways at the moment, two segues. It's got your Bruce Campbell Evil Dead, which has been done and finished, so just, you know, as far as we know. And then you've got the 2013 remake and this film, which is more akin of a sequel of that film there, is what it feels like. That being said, this film is a complete riff on The Walking Dead. There's no originality in the film whatsoever. It's a beat-for-beat remake of the remake of the original. It's the same damn film. There's no difference. There's no argue with me that there is a difference in this film than the others, right? And I'll say to you, remote location, cabin in the woods, derelict building, yeah, you end up getting trapped in remote location. The bridge goes out in the film, in the original film. In this, the lifts, there's an earthquake and the stairs fall down and the lifts ain't working. Lifts aren't safe to use, so you're stuck on an elevated floor. Before that, you found in the basement of the building, in the cabin in the woods, and in this building, you found a Book of the Dead with some recordings, a transcript of what the book says. Those elements are played on a tape, you know, record here, tape there, whatever it may be. They're played. The dead are released and takes over someone, and it's a battle for survival with people getting killed left, right, and centre around you. That's it. It's exactly the same damn film, just set in a different location. That wound me up. That wound me up. There was no originality to it whatsoever. Done nothing fresh. I didn't watch it. I didn't enjoy it. Now, Renfield on paper should have been a decent idea. Nicolas Cage as Dracula, fantastic. Nicholas Hoult isn't an actor I really gravitate towards. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm saying I haven't seen nothing in him that actually makes me has made me sat up and notice him as an actor. There's that about him. Now, with this film here, I'm getting my words mixed. I far prefer What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series, which is clearly the inspiration for this movie. Even the posters, you look at the posters for What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, and the posters for this, there is an aesthetic tone that is kind of stolen from one to the other, and it's the same damn thing. It's about vampires with a familiar who works for them. Very similar in what it wants to do. Obviously, Renfield, he becomes, you know, he has to stop Dracula and all that nonsense. But I struggled with the film. It is one I want to try again. But, you know, all you got to watch is the latest episode of What We Do in the Shadows. I was in stitches at it when Nandor, the main vampire, is trying to impress his familiar, so he decides to fly up into space. Yes, vampire flying up. It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing I've seen for a long, long time. I was in stitches at this moment in the TV show. And then he falls back through the Earth's orbit and, you know... yeah, like shooting star, essentially. It was great when he was up there, and because he's wearing a body cam type thing that he's taken off of the people that followed him with the camcorders. It was funny. Anyway... that's that. And then obviously The Last of Us was a TV show that I didn't finish. I got maybe 4 episodes in, and I said, okay, I've never played the game, so let's get that out of the way. But for me, it was like revisiting the world of The Walking Dead. That's all I can say. It was like, you know, I've done 11 years of The Walking Dead. I'm 6.5 years through Fear the Walking Dead, 2 seasons of Walking Dead World Beyond, Tales of the Walking Dead. I've read the entire comic book series of The Walking Dead, and now I step into The Last of Us, and I'm just treading old ground with it. It's too familiar with what I'm watching. So again, that's one. So none of those items were picked up for those reasons. it's very easy as a collector and making a channel like this to see what others are picking up and get caught up in that rat race and, oh, I've got to get that, I've got to get that, everyone else is getting it, I've got to get it. And you see this so many times. You know, I've seen people run out and buy things that they haven't even seen, that they, you know, I'm not talking, okay, blind buys I've done, but I'm talking about, you know, I'm a big fan of the Chucky franchise, right? So I bought the lenticular box set and I bought the steelbook to combine the two. I'd done it with the first one a year ago, right? And I've done it again now. I love the franchise. I've seen all the films. Yeah, I've seen the TV show. I'm invested in it. But then for someone to buy those items, to do the combination, who hasn't seen anything to do with the franchise whatsoever, it blows my mind as to why would you do that? Why? Because your fear of missing out, essentially. That's what it comes down to. And I've got to buy it for the channel. And this is, and I'm not saying I haven't been there. I have been there. I've done, you know, I got caught up in that nonsense for a while, and now I've stepped away from it because that is just ludicrous thinking, waste of money. Yeah, it's just more money than sense kind of a situation there. So there we go. And I do try to avoid blind buys on larger purchases. However, you know, I sort of gave in on this one. It does happen at times, but certainly not all the time. I haven't got to run out and get something because, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on it, or, you know, I didn't really like that, so but I will buy it just in case I miss the steelbook. Nonsense thinking. Anyway, that's it. That's me done for another one. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, comments down below, all that nonsense. Hit the subscribe button, come to the channel. I shall see you on the next one. Take care all, and have a great week.